As of April 27, 2025, there are currently 51 volcanoes which are actively erupting around the planet, a total which is 3 more than were erupting last week. One of these erupting volcanoes is the Democratic Republic of the Congo's Nyiragongo volcano, which contains the world's largest active lava lake at the present, measuring 688 meters or 2,257 feet wide. While its size has varied during the last 360 years, it has been measured anywhere from 60 to a whopping 1,000 meters wide. This lava lake, which is incredibly low in silica, typically builds over multiple years until being catastrophically released downslope, where its molten rock flows at speeds of up to 60 miles per hour in dangerous flank eruptions. And now, here are this week's top stories, volcano-related news stories. In Russia, a large volcanic eruption occurred at what is essentially the nation's Mount St. Helens, the Bezimianny volcano, covering a wide swath of the surrounding landscape in a layer of ash. Meanwhile, in Costa Rica, the Poás volcano not only intensified its eruption via one of its strongest explosions on record, but also began erupting lava, creating distinctive lava fountains. And, in what is this week's top Kilauea eruption story, after around a month of no or only weak lava effusion occurring, Hawaii's Kilauea volcano put on a show, generating sustained 250-meter or 820-foot high lava fountains. This intense lava fountaining began at 3:30 a.m. local time on April 22, which itself began after 5.5 days of more intermittent, weaker activity. Both the north and south vents became active as expanding and rising gas propelled magma upwards, causing it to be ejected upwards to create the observed lava fountains. Just look at how much lava is actively being ejected every second. Across the 10-hour intense lava fountaining period, lava effusion would average around 139.4 cubic meters per second, enough to fill an Olympic-sized swimming pool every 17.9 seconds. Ash and tephra carried by the lava fountains, which rose above Kilauea's crater and caldera walls, subsequently fell on nearby roads and parking lots, including at Uecuna to the north. By the time this lava fountaining ceased, 60% of the 2018 caldera floor had been covered in a layer of molten rock, which subsequently began to cool. Since December 23 of 2024, Kilauea has been undergoing a fairly predictable episodic cycle of activity, with this likely to continue for some time. As a result, the 19th lava fountaining episode is most likely to begin sometime between April 29 and May 3 of 2025. Heading over to Costa Rica, the Poás volcano eruption produced one of its most powerful historical explosions on record at 2:14 p.m. local time on April 21. This 10-minute-long eruption caused debris and volcanic bombs to rain down, which included incandescent material beyond its crater rim. The associated eruption plume shot upwards to a height of 4,708 meters or 15,446 feet. Subsequently drifting to the south and west, it caused ash to fall on multiple cities and towns, including the capital San José. The cause of this explosion was building pressure that prevented the vast majority of gas and pressure from being released for the prior 10 days finally being released. Eruptive activity at Poás has been progressively becoming more and more explosive since late February 2025, when I interpret the new batch of magma intruded underneath the volcano. Poás's crater lake is now dry, and this allowed for something highly unusual to occur late on April 25. Lava actually erupted. In fact, multiple sustained lava fountains as part of strombolian explosions were created, which I estimate peaked at around 150 meters in height. Magma is now clearly at shallow depths in its magma conduit, meaning more strombolian activity is likely, with the lesser potential for an actual small lava flow or lava dome to form. Meanwhile, in Russia, a large eruption occurred, Bezimianny eruption from what I call the Mount St. Helens of the nation, the Bezimianny volcano. I call it this because it produced a similar intensity Plinian eruption, edifice collapse, and lateral blast in 1956 as what Mount St. Helens did in 1980, just in an uninhabited portion of Kamchatka. It has been almost continuously erupting since then, building a growing lava dome. When portions of this lava dome plug the magma conduit, it can lead to major explosions such as what occurred at 11 a.m. on April 24. As a result, an 11-kilometer or 36,000-foot high eruption column was generated, sending an approximately 100-kilometer wide eruption cloud to the west and southwest, causing a dusting to half a centimeter of ash to fall on multiple villages. Additionally, it seems like a pyroclastic flow from this eruption inundated areas up to 3 kilometers to the east of Bezimianni's summit. Here is a quick list of all of the world's list of erupting volcanoes which are currently erupting. Additionally, here are some volcanoes showing signs of unrest which are not erupting as of the recording of this video on April 27 of 2025. As a final note, I would like to thank this channel's patrons on Patreon and channel members on YouTube.